settle for any ordinary brand. Let Gerry Foster, the branding evangelist, show you how to have a world-class brand here on Big Brand Formula. No more spinning your wheels, wondering what it takes to have a great brand that can have great things happen for you. Gerry wants you to think big and go big. Through his interviews and inspiring teachings, each episode is devoted to giving you the guidance, support, and tools for big branding your business, product, or a service, or even yourself as a personal brand. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Gerry Foster.
Hi, Gerry Foster here, the Big Branding Guy, also known as the Branding Evangelist. And I am so thrilled today because I have this amazing young man, Tyler Ornstein, who created Tyler's Coffee, the world's first and only acid-free coffee. And I helped brand this guy and his partner 8 years ago, and I am so thrilled because they are awesome. Tyler, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Gerry, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. I'm really, really excited, and you're right. It's like walking down memory lane with you. I'm super, super stoked that you gave us a lot of insight and a lot of branding knowledge at a very young age, and I have to give a shout out to Rebecca because she took your boot camp and she did an amazing job with it. She took it and ran with it and really built the company to where we're at now. And she did a lot of resources, and you were a really good mentor to her.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, give me a quick update in terms of your growth, because one of the things that I do on my podcast is I just want our listeners and viewers to just absorb big branding gems, because you've got something that's extraordinary.
Thank you.
So how's the growth been? Give me a quick
Growth
overview.
has been phenomenal. I mean, we're really, really excited because I have to say that from when you knew us to where we're at now, you wouldn't even notice us, right? Because we went from, a very, very small mom and pop kind of company, and we were growing very small, and now we're in 1,000+ stores. We're on Walmart.com, eBay, Jet.com, Amazon. We're in 40+ retailer websites. I mean, we do drop shipping. We're doing great.
That's outstanding.
We're doing great.
Man, oh man. And it doesn't surprise me because you've got what I've always preached, a me-only brand, a one-of-a-kind brand, right?
Blue water territory.
Exactly, because the whole idea here is to put something out into the marketplace that is distinct and different from the standpoint that people love it.
Right.
And what it sounds like is that people have fallen in love with your brand, right?
Oh, absolutely. Not only have they fallen in love with our brand, but they've fallen in love with the idea.
Yes.
The idea of having a healthy coffee.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Healthy coffee.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, now there's coffees out there that are low acid. There's, Guraderma, which is a mushroom coffee. And these are all great brands and all great products, and I'm not knocking anything. But what we've created is we've created the pure essential essence of coffee as it should be. We take everything to the nano level, really. I mean, we take it to the cellular level. We don't bloom the tannic and lipid acids. We make sure that our coffee is 100% USDA certified organic. It's single sourced from Chiapas, Mexico. We go to the next level of coffee, right, Gerry? And we want to create this essence of the best and most purest flavored coffee, and I think we've really accomplished it.
Let me ask you this question, and I love that. So when you were putting all of your product together, let's say, before it became a brand itself,
Right.
did you do any kind of research? Did you identify anything in the marketplace
Heck
that said
yeah.
to you, yes, there's a gap there? Talk about that a
Heck
little
yeah. So there's 50 million Americans that suffer from stomach-related modalities, and that was a statistic done in 2016 by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. That has grown. People do not realize that there is an 80% chance of harboring cancer cells if you have inflammatory. And what inflammatory is it's lower pH. Lower pH causes inflammatory cells. So when you put all that together, you realize that there is a huge detriment to your health every morning if you're not drinking an alkaline coffee.
Whoa. So this is not only for someone, let's say, who was health conscious. It's also for someone who
wants to be.
Yeah, and wants to be. But let's say has some ailments.
Yes.
And is eating the bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're drinking the bad stuff, and now they drink your coffee instead.
Right.
And that can help reverse some conditions, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Whoa. Man, oh man.
Yeah, because we're not inflammatizing the issue. We're not giving, people that have Crohn's, GERD, interstitial cystitis, OAB, the list goes on. It's growing, unfortunately. These are all inflammatory issues. And by having an acidity coffee, you're inflammatizing the cellulars.
My goodness.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about what you're saying is the importance of looking out in the marketplace and asking yourself, where's that gap? Where's that void?
No question.
People want A, B, and C from coffee. They're settling for D, E, and F, and you come along and say, guess what? We got the A, B, and C. You've been looking for it. And that's a lesson for all of our viewers out there, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because you're either me too or me only.
Yeah.
And you're a me only brand, which is how you scale up. What are some lessons that you feel other entrepreneurs and small business owners can take away from your rapid growth?
Well, I think that it really boils down to a couple of things, and I call it the 3 Ps. You have to have passion, you have to have purpose, and you have to have people. Okay?
Nice.
So if you have those 3 things, then add your business.
Yes.
Because if you have passion for, you could go out and raise $1 million capital gain. But if you don't physically have that passion that you want to get up every morning and you want to shout at the top of your lungs, hey, I have this wonderful thing that I want everyone to know about, that money's going to go away.
Wow. Yeah.
But if you have that passion, you feel that you nurture that money and you want it to grow.
Makes sense. Totally.
And that's how you become successful.
And I remember how, if I recall correctly, you had gotten the brand into Whole Foods. Was it Whole Foods?
No, Natural Grocers.
That's right. And,
Yeah.
and it just flew off the shelf.
It did. It absolutely did. Yeah.
And then that led to expansion, obviously, into other grocery chains, supermarket
Yeah,
chains.
so we're in 300 grocery stores with Natural Grocers. We're in about 100 in Hy-Vee grocery stores.
Okay.
We've got a couple others that are coming down the pike, and what I think is going to happen is there's going to be this huge shift, and I saw it in the Expo West show, which is a very unique show. It's a health and wellness show of a magnitude that I've never seen in my life. It's 8,000 to 10,000 people go to it, and it's actually in Orange County. And what I saw in 2016 is that tech is huge, but food is bigger. Whoa. What you put in your body is going to be more investable. Yes. Because people care more about the health. And I tell people this all the time and say, you could have 1,000 problems, but if your health is not number one, you don't have any problems.
I like that because you guys saw not only the opportunity, the gap in the marketplace, but also a growing trend.
Absolutely.
Which is that we as a country and around the world, for the most part, are health conscious.
Yeah.
So if you can ride that wave, now let me ask you this. It's all about, if you remember how when I was coaching you guys, it's all about having your brand be different and better than the competition.
Right.
Now, the how you're different is the me only part, but what makes you better is your quote secret sauce. Remember that? Can you share?
Yeah.
Now you don't have to tell our listeners what your secret sauce is, but
Right.
talk a little bit about the importance of making sure that your brand was nailed down before you got into the marketing stuff, right? Because
Yeah.
you had to have something that could not be duplicated, imitated, or negated by the competition.
I use the analogy, the Ziploc bag concept. So if I took my coffee and I put it in a Ziploc bag and I walked it into a buyer at a major grocery store chain, not going to sell. They're not even going to try it. You got to have a brand.
Yes.
Got to have a product. It has to look and feel and have a look of desire.
Yes.
I want to put my money that I worked very hard for out to buy this. What am I getting for my money?
Yes.
I want value.
Yes. And I tell you what's also great about what you're saying is you have to give the consumer a reason to purchase your brand, which goes beyond simply the packaging, which is obviously important because you got to jump off on the shelf. People have to to notice it. But the main thing is what's inside
Yes.
the
Yes.
product itself, right?
Yeah.
So is there some kind of secret sauce? Is there something?
Well, there's a proprietary process.
That's good.
Yeah.
So everyone hear that. A proprietary process. That's huge. So for anybody out there, if they want to become super successful like you two have, they got to make sure they've got something that nobody else can copy.
Bingo.
Especially if you're on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hear all the horror stories about that. You can get Tyler's coffee over here in China, right? Or whatever country. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But
Right.
yeah. So what are some other success lessons for our listeners here? And it doesn't just have to be brand related. It could be around, like you said, the passion and all of that. But is there something in terms of
I would say
do's and don'ts? Yeah.
I would say this. I would say that there's a big drive in our company to give back. And we actually have partnered with a 503(c), the Beacon Foundation. We absolutely love them. What they do is they find people that have mental disabilities at an at an adult level, and they can no longer work in the workforce as we know it. But what they can do is they can do remedial jobs like fulfillment.
Okay.
And so every single time someone orders our product, we donate because we pay for that fulfillment. And I think that it's really important to find your cause and invest in it. So if you're going to make a company and you say, okay, our profits were phenomenal, well, why don't we take 0.5 of that percent of our profits? I'm not saying 20%. I'm saying a very, very limited small amount, and we donate it to a charity.
I love it.
That is a huge PR. But what really and truly, honestly, what I love about it is I'm giving back to society as a whole. And I think that's what I started my company, because I knew that I didn't want to just sell coffee. I wanted to sell a completely different and alternative coffee.
I love that, Tyler, because it makes me think of Tom's Shoes.
Yeah.
They don't make shoes. They make shoes that matter.
Right.
And as you know, they're
Right.
known for their philanthropy and giving back. So that's great because you're socially conscious.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're giving, because I always tell people, if you're not giving, you're not getting.
That's right. That's right.
Be a giver, not a taker.
Right.
Everyone wants to make a profit. However,
Right.
making a profit means that you are able
Yeah.
to do something better than the rest of the crowd, but at the same time, want to benefit others as well.
Of course.
That's good. That's
Of course.
good. Now, how big has your company gotten now? How many employees are
Well,
you
we're
guys still packing your own coffee?
No, we've got the fulfillment company that's doing a wonderful job.
Nice.
I mean, the company has grown. I would say that we did a 50% increase in growth over the last 6 years, which is insane.
That's insane.
Our number one problem is we don't have enough inventory for our demand, which everyone says, well, it's a great problem to have. And I say, yeah, but it's still a problem. So that's one of our pitfalls, is to keep inventory on shelf, but we're working better at that. We've gotten lines of credit, and we're starting to really, really ramp up and get the marketing going, and but I would say that we've got our own offices now. We've got staff. I mean, we've got a wholesale department team. We're growing.
That's awesome. So you're obviously beans, right?
And ground
Okay.
and K-cups.
Is there something special about the beans? Are they coming from Ethiopia, Brazil,
Chiapas, Mexico.
Mexico? Okay.
Yeah, so it's single-sourced USDA organic coffee.
Okay.
And like I said, we wanted to make the best. So single-sourced. This farm has been around for hundreds of years. It sits on an absolute beautiful aquifer that's clean, and the USDA is essentially has certified it with the NOP regulation that it doesn't have chemicals in the soils, and it's good coffee.
That's good.
I don't.
Free.
Yeah, I don't know how else to explain. Like you really should go to Amazon, Walmart.com, Natural Grocers. You should Google acid-free coffee, and really not for my benefit, for yours. For yours.
Okay. So listeners out there, check out their coffee, Amazon.com. Or where's the other place?
Well, there's Natural Grocers. There's
Natural Grocers.
Walmart.com. There's
Walmart.
eBay. There's Jet. There's we're working with the deal on Target. We've got 2 distributors that are going to be rolling it out into a lot of other stores.
Are you looking to get into, or maybe you already are, the regular supermarket chains or the ones that have more of a? Okay.
Yeah, we're looking to get into. Whole Foods and Sprouts.
I was going to say.
Yeah, if you're listening, please give us a call, because we're.
But what about the Krogers of the world and the Ralphs and the Vons and all that? So that's.
I think that's a great opportunity. Unfortunately, our price point is high.
I was going to say.
But I think that there is at one point, like, for example, There was a lot of initiative in 2016 from Walmart, Costco, Target, all the big box stores to start going organic. And now you're seeing it, right? You walk into any big box store and you can buy organic food. So I think that Tyler's Coffees is going to be poised in about the next 2 to 3 years to be in big box because there's just going to be such a demand for it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, because you've got something that people want.
Right.
So not only are you satisfying their needs and wants, the main thing is that you are addressing an area of concern to them, which has to do with all the reactions that people have with bad coffee in terms of how it's made and all of that. So so you're riding the wave here. I mean, my goodness. So tell me about your competition. I'm curious.
None.
Has anyone? None. Oh, so no one's tried to come out and because you got something that can't, like I said, it can't be imitated, negated.
World's first and only.
But see, when we worked together, we said we got to make this a me only brand. So remember this because if you're either me only or me too, and if you're me too, you're a commodity.
Yeah.
And now you're competing on price.
And it's a hard game.
Exactly.
It's a hard game.
And I always tell people that brands like Nike and Starbucks have shown us that the brands they market and sell are more important than the products because people don't want products, they want brands as well.
Well, and I mean, just to touch on Starbucks really quick, I don't think that Starbucks ever thought that they were going to make a lot of value in the coffee. I think it was more they were going to make a value in the third place of meeting.
Yes, exactly.
And I read his book, Howard Schultz's book, and he said there was home, there was the office, and there was lunch or dinner places, like restaurants.
Yes.
But there wasn't a third place. And that third place didn't exist. And he filled that niche. And he did a great job of it. And he was very, very successful with it.
Very successful around the big brand idea of a unique coffee experience, a sense of community, and so on and so forth. And that's so. And what you just said is so true because Barnes and Noble, in the book selling space, try to create a third place for people to read books and magazines.
More like a private library, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And did that successfully. But then what they didn't see on the horizon was
Amazon.
Well, Amazon with Kindle and how a lot of people just don't want hardcover books. But exactly. Right. So in your case, though, I don't think there's probably you're ahead of the curve, dude. I don't think there's anything coming on the horizon.
Right.
Because you always have to worry about that. Which is there some next generation whatever coming out in terms of acid-free coffee that could take you from me only to me special to me?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Man. Now, if Rebecca were here, he's got an incredible partner. I think she's just outstanding.
Yes.
What do you think she would want people to know about your success? Anything that
I worked for it?
Yeah. Well, I know she doesn't want you to speak for her, right?
Yeah.
But is there some takeaway from? So, what is your title in the company?
I'm the CEO.
Okay, founder and CEO. What is her title?
I would say she's business development, head of sales.
Anything from that end of the business that you feel people should know about as far as generating sales and the marketing and all of that?
Well, I mean, for the first. Okay, so to go back, when I went door to door on a bicycle at 14 years old, I gave coffee away, and then what I wanted in return was a phone number and a name so I could reach out to them. And I did. And then I'll never forget, and then this was completely driven on a test market. And I'll never forget this old lady. She was really sweet, and she said, hey, I called her, and she said, hey, that's really, really good coffee. Where do I get it? And it was a light bulb moment. It was a boom. And I said, well, you can get it from me. And she said, well, how much does it cost? $1. You know, I just thought right off the top of my head. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was like, cool, I'm making money now. And so she said, sure. Well, why don't you come by and bring me $5 worth of coffee? So I brought her 5 packs of coffee. At this time, there was 2-ounce Percocks. And that really and truly kind of solidified that I got 20 no's to 1 yes. So the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to receive. And it's a cliche statement, but it's such a true statement. I mean, I remember calling and calling and calling and calling and calling, and Becca calling and calling and calling and calling, and us not getting anywhere, and us looking at the numbers and going, oh man, this is not good. We're really struggling here. And then we called the last. Okay, I'll take 3 cases. Boom.
Bam.
So what I'm saying is you got to just stick with what you're doing. The other thing, and I'm very, very adamant about this is my terminology here. Yeah. You don't want to get into a business that no one wants. Okay?
Very good.
My analogy is you do not want to sell turtle shoes.
Okay.
If you go out there and pitch turtle shoes, no one's gonna.
No one wants turtle shoes.
No one's gonna buy. They're gonna be like, I'm not gonna put shoes on my turtle, because no one's gonna do that.
No one's gonna do that.
Right. So you gotta have something that someone wants. You gotta. So you can't. You're not gonna make a business out of doing something that people don't like.
Yes.
You're gonna make a business out of something that has been semi-established in the industry, and you're making it better. Like you said, you're going from red water to blue water, and I use that analogy all the time.
Yes.
I love that analogy.
Red ocean to blue ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But call it water. It's water.
That's what Becca would say is you have to make sure that you have some sort of benefit and feature that outside of anyone else in the competition, because price is a very very interesting game, because the bigger the fish are, they'll lose money for 3 years to knock you out of competition, because then they'll go back and they'll make all their money back. They've got millions and millions of dollars stockpiled, and you come in and you say, hey, I got a product and I'm going to drop the price, and I'm going to compete against them. And they go, oh, really? Well, we're going to drop the price. And at the one point, you're actually under your cost of whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
And you can't stay afloat.
And see, I like that, because that's another valuable lesson, which is if you are a Me Too brand, you're forced to compete on price.
Yes.
And I love how you have made sure that you have a highly distinctive, one of a kind, we're the only one who does what we do kind of brand,
right,
which means that you can command the price.
Yes.
Because you're not a commodity. They haven't allowed themselves to become generic, because people will make you generic if you let them. Yeah. And I want to go back to a couple of things you said that were so good. The taste. She loved the taste. Yeah. Because what do we associate with healthy anything? It doesn't taste good. Sure, it's good for us, but it tastes horrible.
Yeah.
So I like that. And the other thing I want to circle back to is how you have been able to compete. Listen, I used to work in the grocery industry back in the day when I was at P&G and another company. I mean, that is brutal. You have no idea. Grocery people, I love them. Am I right?
Yeah.
And so you guys have been able to not only, you said 50% growth average every year?
Year over year.
Okay, 50% growth. And you're the number one type of coffee, right? In this category. Did they put you?
The
what
only.
did they put you in? Yeah, you're the only one. But you're number one.
We're the only one, man.
Number one. Okay, so let me ask you one last question, because I know we can. In terms of getting the product off the shelf, I remember one time I had a client who had me sit in on a presentation of his. It was a light product, not a light bulb, but the kind of night light, and it was very decorative. And we went to this meeting at this grocers conference in Vegas, and there were 4 buyers across from us at the table, and the guy presents his product, and they loved it, and then they looked at him, and I just happened to be next to him. I don't quite know why I was there, and they asked him one question: what are you going to do to get the product to fly off the shelf? Our job is to simply give you distribution,
right?
Give you shelf placement. So talk about that, because
that's a great question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the answer.
Okay.
The answer is you don't do it. You let other people do it.
Okay.
You tell people, hey, this is our product. I want you to try it. So, for example, we did a demo at Natural Grocers.
Okay.
We went in there. We set up our coffee booth. We had a coffee machine. We started giving out coffee. It's great. Everyone loved it. Started selling coffee. Said, all right, we're done.
Wow.
That's it.
Yes.
Now you've got 30, 60, 90 people that are now walking around saying, have you tried Tyler's coffee? So it's really, really good. I mean, my God, I just tried it. It's super good. Really? Yeah, go try it. It's not Natural Grocers. And what's interesting is the manager came up to me and he said, hey, so when do you want to do another demo? And I said, oh, we're not. We're done. That's good. And he looked at me and he goes, what? I don't understand. I'm like, you'll see. And sure enough, he called me a couple weeks ago after that, and he goes, hey, we're out of stock. And I'm like, I know. How much you need? Oh, okay. And I went in there the other day and grabbed some groceries, and I said, hey, how you doing? He's like, it was funny. I never thought that you were actually going to be real about it. And I was like, yeah, because we have a good product.
Yes.
Let people take it off the shelves.
Let people take it off the shelf. And I tell you, that should be the lesson here for everyone. Let people take your brand off the shelf.
Yeah.
And I also want to commend you for putting your name in your brand.
Yeah.
Real quickly,
Thank you.
Tyler's Coffee, right?
Yeah.
His name is Tyler Ornstein, because a lot of great brands put the name of the founder in the brand itself. George Foreman Grills, Debbie Fields, right? Mrs. Fields Cookies,
Yeah.
Craigslist, Angie's List.
Yeah.
But then there was John, what's his name, before he got in trouble, Papa John's Pizza. But we won't talk about that. But anyway, so listen, this has been so great, my friend, to see you again.
Yeah, it has been a pleasure.
And get caught up.
It's
So
a pleasure.
if you're interested in finding more about his coffee, you can go to tylerscoffee.com. tylerscoffee.com, and of course Amazon.com, Walmart.com,
eBay.com,
eBay.com,
Jet.com.
Oh, where?
Jet.
Jet, Jet.
Yeah.
Jet.com. Oh my God, they're blowing up the universe of coffee.
Google acid free.
Google acid free. So,
Yeah.
This is a brand success story. They are rocking the coffee industry. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you,
All right.
Jerry. It's a
All
pleasure.
right. Thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Gerry Foster, the branding evangelist. Bye-bye.
You have just listened to Big Brand Formula. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to visit our website, gerryfosterbranding.com/podcast, where you can subscribe to the show and access our resources. If you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or simply telling a friend about us. Join Gerry again on the next episode of Big Brand Formula, where he can further help create your world-class brand.